Every draft cycle has a few players who don't get the right amount of attention from the media, but quietly rise on league boards. In 2026, one of those players is undoubtedly Caleb Tiernan, the towering titan of a left tackle from Northwestern. He embodies the kind of throwback offensive line prospect, steady, intelligent, and versatile, that Mike Vrabel has historically valued. For a New England team trying to stabilize its offensive line and build a foundation of toughness up front, Tiernan could be a cornerstone addition. The Patriots' offensive line heading into 2025 had plenty of short-term questions as well as long-term opportunities, and I think 2026 will be the same. I mean, if we look right now, Will Campbell, so far so good. Jared Wilson, promising at left guard, but could be the anchor at center in the coming seasons. Bradbury, hot and cold. Onwenu is there, sometimes questionable though, and Morgan Moses, being the venerable veteran, has been as advertised. But to maximize the team's future needs, I think they still need to try to solidify that left guard spot. If Caden Wallace doesn't develop, or say Ben Brown can't do it, or he's not going to work out as a backup center, where you can take Caleb Tiernan, who could slide right into multiple spots and provide immediate stability inside at the guard position, while also being a natural swing tackle option. Say Morgan Moses misses time or decides to retire at some point in the future, or Will Campbell goes down. You have a guy who can play both left and right tackle as well. What excites me about Tiernan isn't just his versatility though, or his impressive consistency, but the fact that he's being slept on by the national narrative. Yes, teams have their own boards, but it's interesting to see that, the draft media outlets have their teams, they have their programs, and they stick with them. And they're slotting Tiernan in as maybe like a mid-round developmental player. Yet when you dig into the tape, the pedigree, and evaluations from on-the-ground independent scouts, it's clear he's much closer to being a day 2 lock with late first-round potential. So in other words, he's actually the kind of underappreciated lineman that the Patriots should target. Now, taking a look at him, he's 6'7", roughly 325, 330. He's definitely added a lot of mass. I believe he came in at 280. Arms are supposed to be around 33 and a half. Wingspan, 81. That's all projected. We don't have anything solid there yet. He's 22, so he's a redshirt junior. Some projected testing, running over a little bit like around the 5'3" for the 40. Shuttle should be about 4.75. Benching, just under 30. Vertical jump is in the high 20s. So good enough athlete, and considering his size and weight, I think that's a great power index. So he's bringing the frame of an NFL tack with the build of a power lineman and the durability you want from a long-term starter. His frame is NFL ready, and the weight he's added on college has stuck on well. He looks solid. He looks every bit of the part of a pro offensive lineman. Now, you might not know who he is. Not a lot of guys that kind of follow college football and the draft. He might not be high up on their lists right now, but he was a 4-star recruit. He was a dual sport athlete in high school, and he's got plenty of starts to his name. Redshirted his freshman, but 2022 started 5 games at right tackle. 23 went to left tackle, started every game. Growth and adaptability trend up. 2024 cemented that he is one of the top offensive linemen in the class. 12 starts at left tackle, plenty of top tier competition from the Big Ten. At this point, he has roughly 2,000 career snaps. All Big Ten honorable mention, academic all Big Ten, everything you're looking for, gritty, mauler offensive lineman. This development arc is exactly what you want to see. Steady growth, increased responsibility, and consistency against elite competition. All right, so his top strengths is going to be that reliability, consistency. He has been Northwestern's rock since essentially Skoronski left, right? So 25 straight starts at left tackle in the Big Ten. It's not just durability, it's trust from his coaches and proof he can actually handle NFL caliber edge rushers. His adaptability to hold up physically while rarely committing costly mistakes, and he's defines him as a safe and dependable player. Now, the other thing is natural power and anchor strength is probably his second best aspect. I mean, yes, he's 6'7", 325, but he carries this weight incredibly well. Awesome anchor against bull rushes. This guy moves people with ease. His ability just to win with pure strength in both pass pro and the run game is a foundation of his value. It's, again, a reliability. Run blocking excellence through the roof. Next, run blocking excellence. His hands are incredibly heavy. The core strength, the hip drive, both in terms of delivering linear and rotational power. His core is super strong. He manhandles people. You can't get away from him. He's also great awareness on blocks, the angles, the landmarks. The guy knows what he's doing and it looks effortless. And he's not just a straight line mover. He shows plenty of ability to climb and seal linebackers, critical in gap and power schemes. And his pass pro. Tiernan won't wow you with elite foot quickness, but his fundamentals are incredibly steady. He's got the demeanor, his sets are consistent, his strike timing is improving, and he uses his length to lock out defenders. Obviously, his best is against power rushes, but he rarely loses inside and getting walked back into the quarterback. This guy is a rock. And another one, which I guess you can kind of pile on to the reliability, consistency, football IQ, and composure. Yes, academic all Big Ten player, great IQ, plays at a high level, but again, when you watch him play, he's calm. Stunts and twists don't get him rattled. He picks up blitzes, doesn't panic under pressure. He's a lineman you can trust to execute consistently. Now, things for development, I would call it athletic range. Now, this is why I'm kind of thinking about him being more of a guard. He is not a twitchy mover. The 5'3" speed, although is not bad for his size, he does have stiff hips. And when you watch him go into pass pro, it's, again, not twitchy. You're not seeing a lot of balls of feet movement. There is some clunkiness to him, which impacts his pad level, some flexibility, and there's some need for technical refinement. Now, here's the thing. Which comes first? Will technical refinement improve the pad level, or does he need to work on flexibility and some athleticism to help improve the pad level and the technical refinement? Some of these things could be long-term or short-term fixes, and then some things it is what it is. This is the guy. This is his genetics. This is how he's built. Those things you have to kind of watch if you're going to put him out at left tackle or right tackle. But in at guard, I see most of these concerns greatly diminished. Now, I like Caleb as a player in general, but most of the time, my lens is through the Patriots as a fan and just some of my research efforts. So although I do like Tieran as a player, I really like him because he can be a great fit for New England and Vrabel's philosophy almost perfectly. So breaking it down at left guard, I think the insertion will allow Jared Wilson to move to center when he's ready, creating a more natural and balanced interior. Tiernan's big, strong, he's going to move bodies, he's going to soak up some space on the inside. I know a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, he's 6'7", like near 330. That sounds like a tackle. Well, things to go over here nowadays is that your left tackle are looking more and more like Will Campbell, where they're super athletic, very twitchy. Your edge rushers that speed up the quarterback these days are fast. They're dynamic. They're less about producing power and bull rushing. That bull rusher is being moved in onto the guard and the center, and that's why we're seeing some of these guys like the Barmores or Milton Williams, these guys that are all about creating penetration there. That's where you need the guys that are heavier and soak up space. These guys that are trying to use the straight line bull rush moves and rips, right, to create pressure straight up the middle and collapse the pocket that way. We're starting to see guys like Caleb Tiernan being moved in the middle. A great example would be like Mekhi Becton, a guy who's played tackle, 6'8", like 350 or whatever, and that's a tackle. Well, no, those guys are becoming more and more like guards because they need to create a stronger head of the pocket that a quarterback can step up into. But that doesn't mean I don't think Tiernan can play tackle. Again, he's played left tackle, Big Ten, has performed very well against elite talent. So I can think he can play some left tackle, and of course he can play right. Again, providing insurance if Morgan Moses is sidelined or decides to retire, moves on from, or the Patriots move on from him in a couple years. So ensuring continuity at a premium position. And like the system fit, I mean, Vrabel's offense like historically prioritizes toughness, physicality, and reliability. Tiernan is exactly that kind of player, not flashy, but consistent and rugged. I think it'll work very well with Josh McDaniels' offense, so there's no concerns there. Locker room fit, high IQ, durable, team-first lineman who can stabilize a unit that has dealt with a lot of turnover and inconsistency over the year. You take a guy that is just, again, a team-first, solid dude, consistent, durable, rugged, who can potentially add some improvements in terms of talent, but also, again, adding versatility and depth. So at this point, I mean, I could see him as a first rounder. I know there's some first round, late round risers, and with the need for offensive tackles, and if this guy really does show, even if he moves, I say sideways, say he has as strong as a year as he did last year, you might hear some suggestions about him being a first rounder. I don't know if the Patriots can go after him the first round. So he would be like my second round guy. If they pick between like 35 and 64, he's my dude. And that would be a great pick for me. When you think about it, Vrabel with Skoronski, Northwestern left tackle that moved into left guard, why not do it with Tiernan? The thing is when I said this in my 10 tag video, which Tieran being one of them, when I watch him, I see Taylor Lewan. So again, that's another Vrabel connection. So it makes sense to me. I wouldn't mind seeing Will Campbell, then Caleb Tiernan, Jared Wilson, and then you put in Onwenu and Morgan Moses. That's fine with me. And you have Tiernan as, again, some insurance on maybe Morgan Moses or Will Campbell. It would be nice to have guys like Will Campbell, Caleb Tiernan, and Jared Wilson just become not necessarily glue guys, but a glue unit. All three working together, moving bodies, but each one bringing their own different type of aspect and play style to the game. But it'd be nice to kind of get that connection between the three, because then you're getting guys who are historically intelligent and tough. And that establishes your long-term identity for this team. Inside, three dudes that just love moving people. They're ferocious, they're maulers, but yet still athletic, still intelligent, dependable, technical guys. So there you go. That's my views on Caleb. Definitely under the radar for most of the draft media, but give it a few months. I'm sure we'll start hearing his name pop up, and you guys will be ready for it. Anyway, what do you guys think of Caleb? Do you think the Patriots should go after him? If so, when? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. As always,